So I need to make it happen. I need to make that 1 year that I've come here, I need to make it worth it. So that's what kept me going. I think you just need to remind yourself why you're here and what you can do to make that happen.
Hello and welcome to the International Student Experience, a Swansea University podcast where we delve into the stories and journeys of students from around the world who've chosen to study here in the UK. I'm your host, Dav Turner, and today I'm joined by Shrushti Shetty.
Hi, Dav.
Thank you for joining us. As a start, easy question, could you just introduce yourself, where you're from, what your name is, and what you're studying, please?
Firstly, thank you for having me here. It's very exciting. I haven't done this before. This is very exciting. I'm from India, originally from Bangalore. So I did my entire schooling and everything in Bangalore. I've done my undergraduate as well in Bangalore. And I came in last September for the September intake. I did my master's in law with intellectual property from Swansea University. And I just finished my course and yeah, here I am.
So how's the LLM gone?
I think it was good. It was very different from what I've studied earlier because I did my BA LLB for 5 years, which is a very long time. But it flies by. You don't really realize it. And that's exactly what happened with this 1 year. Because when you look at it, 1 year is very short for a lot of things that's happening. You're coming into a new place, you're settling in, and all of that. So 1 year is a very short time, but I think it was good. I had a really good time. It was a lot that I learned. I specialized in something that I really wanted to for a very long time. And I think it's been a very fun journey because I did a lot of things I never expected I'd be working on or doing. So that's been good. I think the professors, the entire team at School of Law has been very supportive as well.
When did you know that your specialism was what you really wanted to specialize in?
I don't know. I don't remember now, like very particularly. I feel like it was a very long time ago, but it sometimes also feels like it was just yesterday that I was clueless. I finished my 12th grade, which is, I think, the GCSE here, and I had to decide what I was supposed to do, and I chose law randomly, like, there was no proper thought process. I was very young. I think I was 17, 18 years old. And law was just another option. But looking back at it, I'm very grateful that I chose law because I cannot imagine myself doing anything else. That's how it is now. So when I chose law, I was still, very doubtful about how it's going to go, what it's going to be. But then I thought it's 5 years. In the end of it, something will come up. I'll figure it out. It's a long time to figure it out. But somewhere I started doing all these internships, and I've tried my best to try out different fields in my internship as well. I've done civil litigation, I've tried doing criminal litigation, I've done corporate, and in between somewhere I got a chance to work with an IP team at a firm. So I went back home and I tried reading more about intellectual property because what is it? Like, I hadn't studied that, I've heard about it, but I didn't know what exactly it was. That's when I realized it's everywhere around me. I've known it ever since I was a kid, because everyone knows there's a trademark. Everyone knows about a logo. Everyone knows about maybe a scientific invention, but no one really knows what that actually is. And that's when I was like, okay, intellectual property, this is what it is. So I studied more into it. I think that was it. It was a very brief introduction to it, and I was very intrigued. And I started working more on it. And I don't think I ever looked back on it or thought about anything else after that. I just went on one after the other internships and then maybe looking for jobs as well. Then came to specialization. And I was just like, yeah, this is it. This is me. This is what I want to do. Yeah.
The internships, is that something you had to do or is it something you wanted to do?
I think it's a mixture of both. Like I said, it was a 5-year course, so everyone tends to do at least one internship in a year because, it gives you that experience or gives you an idea, especially because there's a lot of different ways you can go. It's not just about ending up at one particular thing with law. There are different things that you can specialize with. Even if you're not specialized, you start working with it because you don't get that kind of exposure in the college. You're just studying maybe the basics or an introduction to it or maybe the history of it, which is not really relevant in the real world. So internship is a is like a gateway to the real world, I guess, where you actually dipping your toe into it, you're trying out different things. And that's the best time to experiment. You can try out different things, which you can't do even if you start working. Because then you're restricted, you have certain boundaries, and you cannot just jump from one thing to another. I mean, eventually, yes, of course, but you can't go on exploring or experimenting. There's a point after which you can't. So I think internship was my way to do that. And when I did that for the first time, I loved it. You're not treated as a student anymore. You're not treated as a proper associate or an employee, but you're still a professional, and that's how you're treated. I think that's something that I really enjoyed. I always enjoyed doing internships, which is why even after I started doing my master's, I was just constantly looking for internships to increase my experience, but also because I really enjoyed working and trying out different things. So I tried my best to make sure instead of doing one every year, I could do every semester end, maybe every 6 months or whenever I could. So I've done internships which have lasted maybe 2 weeks or even a month, and some even 3 months. So it's never been something that I thought too much about, but also something that I gave a lot of thought to. Because right now I've been doing an internship for about 9 months, and it's not something that came to my mind. I was just doing it because for me it was just like I was doing work. I've tried my best to put in that effort. I've tried my best to give it my best and try out different things, as many things as I can in that very short period. So I think internship is the best way for any student to explore what the best course of action or what's the best way to go. And yeah, that's why I did it. It was a mixture of both. It was something that I had to do and something I really wanted to do as well.
Was it useful to do those internships to give you like an insight into what work would be like the life outside of studying? Like, was it able to give you experience of like office culture and like working with people? Is it able to give you skills like that interpersonal connection sort of idea?
Yeah, I think it really gives you an edge because you've worked with a particular team or a company or a person even, and you know what they're like, they know what you're like. So if, the main thought is obviously if you do well in the internship and you hope that when you're finishing your course, you apply to her and they're like, oh, I know this person, she's done well, so I think we should get her back. Or, you do so well in the internship, they're like, okay, I think you should stay here, you should probably work. That's obviously how you go in. You're hoping that. But eventually you forget that and you're just doing everyday chores or everyday work, and you're just like, that's something that, makes me want to get up in the morning and go do this. Yeah, 'cause I have something to do then. Otherwise, you're just a student, you just go into college just doing that, your assignments maybe, or your lectures or your exams. This is something extra which is helping you out in every way. It's also giving you that experience you need, but it's giving you that confidence that you really, really, really need as a student. Because you could be a topper in your class, you could be the best of your batch. But if you're not that confident, especially as a lawyer, in the real world, I think it's going to be really, really hard. And that's something that I learned through internships. Because starting off, I wasn't that confident. I was young, I was not sure what I was doing, I was just doing what I was told. But as it went on, maybe the second internship or the third internship, I started realizing this. I've done this before. I can do this. I can handle it. It shouldn't be that hard. And even though there was a new thing at every corner, but I think it was okay. I was confident that, okay, I can handle it. That's fine. Yeah, I got it. It's okay. So it gives you that, I don't know how to say it, but it gives you that confidence that you can do it, you can handle it. And that's something that's really, really important.
Did you know you wanted to continue that and get an internship alongside your LLM?
I did my internships. I finished my undergraduate. I started working for a law firm called Oedipus Counsels in Bangalore. I did that for about a year. So when I came back and I thought maybe, what do I do now? Because, when you're working about like 8 to 10 hours a day. And that's your entire day. That's almost your entire life, because you're doing 5 days a week and then you get the weekends. You're just like doing your chores and everything. But when I came here and I realized that I need that, I need something going.
Right.
Because I was doing maybe 2 or 3 days a week of lectures and maybe 4 or 5 hours a day max. and I didn't know what to do with the rest of my time. But I realized later I did have a lot of other things that I need to do because I wasn't living at home. I wasn't living with my parents where the food was ready, or there was other things. The laundry was done. I had to do everything on my own. But I still needed something to push me.
Yeah.
I needed that extra work or something that I would really enjoy. And also, I was looking for part-time jobs. So when I was doing that, I did my research and I thought maybe, I could do this. And I tried out, I applied to a bunch of places. Like, I don't even think I have a count on anything now. It's just so many people. It was such a short time. I wasn't sure how to adjust my CV according to the UK terms or how to go about it. But I tried my best. I've reached out to so many people. I've tried speaking to everyone. I reached out to my lecturers. Everyone I could, I've spoken to. And I figured out maybe internship is also a good way to go. And I've been very lucky because I did 2 internships in a span of 8 months. I was fine because I started working with the international recruitment team at the university in around February. And I've been doing that for about 9 months now. And I was supposed to just do that for like 2 or 3 months, So I'm very glad that they have been so welcoming. They've been so supportive that they've liked my work as well. So they've extended my contract and they've kept me along. And even otherwise, they've been very, very supportive. And that's what you need, because that gives you that confidence that, okay, I can do this. Because this work is something that is completely different from what I've done. I've always done law work, law internships. And this was marketing. This was talking to students. This was interacting with parents of the students for open days, for clearings, for emailing, reaching out to people, scholarship allocation, data entries, Power BI, and I was just like, wow, okay, this is new terms, but also very exciting because I never thought I'd get an opportunity to do this. Because in India, we don't have the concept of open days or clearings. So I didn't know that I could be a part of a team and actually work with them, be on the other side. Because as a student, I know how it is. But from the other side, the other perspective, I think that was given to me by the internship. Mm-hmm. So I'm very glad that I did it. Apart from that, I also did an IP internship with Agor Innovation.
Okay,
They're a team that works with on Bay campus. They help out the SMEs with managing their IP life cycles. I tried juggling both the internships and I had a great time with both of them. I think I worked with the most supportive people, the most amazing, interesting. They've all come from such different backgrounds. They all have such amazing knowledge that it was just great working with all of them. And I sometimes wish I could just go on interning with different teams, but I know I can't do that. I'm just looking forward I'm hoping that whenever I start working, I get to work with such people again, with that supportive environment where I can learn and I can also be very productive to them as well. So that's what I'm looking for. And I think that understanding is something that I got through internships. Yeah.
How did you find those internships?
The first internship, the SPIN internship, was on the university website. It's very easy to just go look and all of that. But you need to know where exactly to look, what exactly to apply for. Because one application takes a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that because I'm exhausted or anything, but it does take a lot of interest for you to just sit down and just complete that application. Because every time you apply for a job, there are certain things that you need to make sure that your CV contains. And to incorporate that, even though it's the same thing but a different word, it's very easy to get rejected just because of that word. So that's something that I learned the hard way, definitely, because I was applying from September. I've been speaking to people from September. I landed on, I think, September 21st, and I think I started trying to talk to people from September 22nd. That's how eager I was to find a job, to get some experience. So when I started off, I did a lot of mistakes, I'm sure. I was getting rejected. I was not getting any responses back. And I tried different things, and it led me to the SPIN internship website. It led me to the employability team on the campus, which has been so amazing from the beginning. They've helped me out on my CV, cover letter. They've helped me out in understanding where to apply, what to apply to. So the first one it was a spin internship for, I think, 8 weeks. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was just from February to maybe April. So I applied on that. And I think with Agor Innovation, I attended a conference. It was nothing. It was actually just speaking to them, maybe networking event. And I just turned up and I was like, I've read about you guys. I've tried contacting you. It has not worked out, but I really want to work with you. And they were very reluctant because they've never done this. They've never taken any student interns or any interns. They've never had anyone working with them on that basis. So they said, we don't do this. We're really sorry. You seem like a very fun person, but I'm so sorry. They literally said that we don't do this. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. I just wanted it. I just requested them. I could just send you my CV maybe. If you could just go through it and think about it and get back to me, that'd be great. And they were very sweet. It was Harrison Reese, and I took down his email ID, and I just sent him my CV and cover letter. It took a while. They didn't just get back to me the next day or anything. They spoke to their team, everyone they had to. And they got back to me, and they had a very interesting role. Unfortunately, I had the time restriction because I was a student back then. So I just have about 20 hours a week. So I was doing about 7 to 8 hours with one team and 10 hours with the others. Juggling that was fun in a way, but also was trying to understand what works for whom. But they've been incredibly supportive because in that 1 day or 2 days, I had to fit in everything that they wanted me to work on. And they gave me a range in that as well. They said, you're here for a limited time. Why don't you learn this? Just different things. I've done patent searching. I've done filing. I've worked on documents and everything that they could provide at that point. And it was not just like, I just sat there and watched them do it. I could be a part of their team. I sat for their meetings. I sat for their client meetings. It was really interesting to hear different things coming up. And yeah, that's how I got the internship. One was just through the Spin website. The other one was actually just turning up.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important in the right place at the right time. Yeah, that's what really works most of the time, I guess.
How important is it for any student to be proactive when they're looking for these roles? Because it sounds like you've really gone out there to look for things and apply for things. Was it important that you just kept going and looking for and trying to find these roles that you could apply for? Because it'd be so easy to just do your studies and just focus on that. But was it important to be that proactive person who went and looked for those extracurricular roles?
It is. I'm on a time crunch, if that's okay to say. Because I came in September 2023, and I come with that baggage of you just have a year. You got to figure it out within that year. So you finish your course in September, and you're graduating in December. But your visa is just till January, so which is a very short time when you actually look at it. Because, like I said, I come from a very different background. I don't know how it works here. So to fit in, to get into that, to be able to find the right people, to apply the right way, or to have the right CV, I think it's a lot of things for just a year. And you have a very important thing to do, study, which is something that I think gets easily neglected. Because you're just figuring everything out and you forget focusing on that. So I think what kept me going is to make sure that I don't forget what I'm actually here for. Even though I was constantly trying out different things, I just had to constantly remind myself, this is what you're here for, this is what you're here for. Because if I don't clear that, everything else I do is just, doesn't matter anymore. So it's just what worked for me, I guess. I'm not going to speak for everyone else, or I'm not going to say there's a written rule book that you got to do so many things. But that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to be active. I wanted to try out different things. I've come to a different country altogether, which is a very, very big thing for me. I did not think that I was going to do this. And when I got the opportunity, I just did not want to let go. I wanted to try everything. I wanted to try traveling. I wanted to try learning a new language. I wanted to try a different internship. I wanted to try everything I could. And I think I did. I think most of it. So It is very important, at least for me, because it's very easy for you to just go down that slope and get demotivated. It happens every day. When you don't hear back from someone, when you think that you're perfect for a job and you put in that effort and you do everything and you still don't get a response, or you just get rejected even without getting called for an interview. It is very disheartening, it's very demotivating. But to have something that pushes you to want to wake up and work on it is very important. Because, yeah, you could just lose your focus at any time. And especially with the time crunch, it just flies by. You don't know. Because it feels like yesterday I just came in to start my master's, but now I'm done and I'm looking for jobs. And in a matter of 2 months, I'll be graduated. So I need to make it happen. I need to make that 1 year that I've come here, I need to make it worth it. So that's what kept me going. I think you just need to remind yourself why you're here and what you can do to make that happen. And you got to work on that. Everyone has their own different ways to do it. So if you think it's being proactive or just going at it, if that's what you think is right, I think, yeah, that's what you should do.
You sound like a very busy person. It sounds like you're trying to do a lot in that short space of time that you're here. How do you balance all that?
I don't. I'll be honest. I'm not a busy person. I'm just a very, I don't know how to say. I'm a very anxious person.
Okay.
That would be a better word. I don't see it as a bad way. I just need something going on because it's very easy to shut off or just lose that motivation to do anything. So I'm just constantly just trying to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm just trying to find things, so there was a time where I was doing a lot of things. I was losing my mind. I was doing 2 internships, I was volunteering, I was working, I think I was working for clearing as well, and I was working on my dissertation. So it was just a lot of things, and I just had 7 days in a week. And I was like, it's just not enough time. 24 hours is not enough. Because you got to stay healthy. The weather in UK makes you want to stay healthy, because otherwise, wow, it's going to be so hard to get out of that. So you got to stay healthy, you got to stay fit, you got to sleep on time. All of that with your load of things is something that sometimes I wish I hadn't taken over, because it felt like, oh my God, it's a lot. Why did I do this? But also at the same time, I felt like I really enjoyed it. It's one thing after another. I'm someone who really enjoys putting a schedule, or just like, okay, 9 a.m. I need to be here. 9:01 I should be doing this. I'm like that. And that keeps me going. I enjoy that a lot. And I mean, at the end of the night, I'm just doing this. This needs to happen the next day. I have alarms going off in the middle of the day saying, you have to do this. You have to be here today. So I enjoyed that. I think maybe taking on a lot of things is not a good thing in general, because it does stress you out. And you're probably not giving that kind of effort or that attention that's needed for everything. You need to know what to prioritize when. And I just took some time off in September. Towards the end of it, I was just like, I stopped everything else and I decided I have to do my dissertation, because I was halfway done, but I felt like, it was not me. It was not my full effort. So I spoke to everyone. I just took some time off and I said, okay, dissertation. So I still remember I finished my dissertation. I was back at work on October 1st. That's just who I am. I enjoyed it. I was looking forward to finishing my dissertation so I could go back to work. You don't balance it out unless you want to do it, because the more you want to do something, the more you put that effort to making sure that happens. And that's what I did. That's what I don't think that's like a secret or there's like a way to do it. You just have to do it for yourself.
Have you always been disorganized?
No, definitely not. I mean, I still am not. I definitely am not. When I was back at home, my mother's biggest complaint with me was I don't have a fixed sleep schedule. I don't have a fixed food schedule. There have been times where she would put it on the plate and just keep it on my table, and that would just be there for like an hour or two. Now I yearn for that. I really wish my mother would come and give me the food now. Now I have to do that on my own. Because I grew up with that thing. I would come home, however, tired, late, exhausted. I know there would be like warm food at home, and I would just like eat and go to sleep. But I cannot do that here, because the minute I slack, I do not have food to eat. I have to cook it, I have to clean it, I have to eat, and that's something that I still haven't learned, honestly saying, because, it's hard. It's really hard when you have to do everything on your own. So, yeah, I guess I was not organized at all. And I had to be, I had to learn. But I still don't think I am. I really don't think I am.
When you came here, was that your first time away from home?
Yeah, it was. I've not stayed away from my parents for more than, I think, 3-4 days. It was a major change. It was a major change for them. It was a major change for me. It was something we knew was going to happen eventually, but not something that we thought was going to be that hard. Because when I first left, it was my parents, actually. More than me, they were more keen that I go study, which is very surprising for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's usually the parents who say, it's okay, you've got to know a job, just do that, you're fine. But my parents were very insistent. They said, we know you're interested and we think you should go. You've got the chance, you've got the university, and we think it's the right time and you should go finish your master's, and then you could see what you can do later. You can come back or you can work there. And they've been incredibly supportive with everything, which has been really great, because to have that kind of support, to know that there's someone waiting for you at the back and you're just cheering you on throughout the thing. I've had so many mental breakdowns and I've just called them up and I felt better immediately. So many times I cannot even tell you. I think that's what it was. It was really hard, but it kept me going because I knew that I had to do it for them, because they wanted me to do this for myself. They didn't have anything else in their mind. They just wanted me to do what's best for me, and they were just being supportive in every way. I'm really grateful for that. It was a basic understanding. They would always say, oh, we want you to get what we didn't have, or we want you to go achieve the dreams that we couldn't achieve. Do it, at least keeping that in mind. But yeah, at the end of it, they just wanted the best for me. And I'm really grateful that they understood that this was the best for me and this is what I really wanted.
How was it during those first few days then? Because it must have been so difficult having that social separation then, because it's not even like they're down the street or in another town. It's quite a distance. You can't just immediately just go home. So what was that like for you when you then first came here and you had to do the laundry for yourself, and you had to cook for yourself, and you had to live yourself,
Yeah. When I first got the admission and when I got into the university and everything, I was happy. But then I started overthinking. I started rethinking my whole decision. And I had to pay the deposit and I was being very reluctant. And my parents just what's wrong with you? You were so excited. Why have you slowly, started thinking about it again? And I was just I don't know, it's fine. It's fine. I'll stay here. I want to stay with you guys. And I remember this conversation I had with both my parents, and they were just staring at me what's wrong with you? And I didn't want to tell them what it was, but I didn't want to leave. I was just if something goes wrong, I can't just run back to you guys. Yeah. If you need me, I'm not going to be here. And I don't know how that's going to be for either of us. So I don't know if I want to go anymore. And my father was just you're just being negative. Stop being negative. That's just such a negative vibe around you. It's just you're just thinking of all the things that could go wrong. What about all the things that could go right? Why not that? And I didn't understand it back then, but now that I think of it, I'm so glad that he spoke to me and he said that, because even though he didn't say it in a way that would I think maybe someone who would speak to you and make you understand it in a nice way. And my father was just no, just don't be negative. That's it. And that was his way of saying it's fine. We're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those first few days just went with that. It was just I don't think I had the time initially to understand that I've come all the way here and I'm away from them. Obviously, when I left at the airport, my parents they had a tear in their eye and I was sad. But after that, you're just looking forward to the new journey.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to a new life. You're starting from scratch in a different place. You have nothing. There's no one that every single thing is new. And I didn't know anyone. Some of them came with their friends and everything. I had no one. It was just me. Thankfully, my brother and his wife came along to drop me. So initially, it started off as a big vacation that I was taking with my my favorite vacation partners, actually. And we just came in with that. And they left. They dropped me off, and they left after 3 days. And that's when it started hitting me that, oh, okay, I'm in a completely strange city in a strange country, all on my own, and this is it. This is what it is. This is just how it's gonna be. And it started off with the small things. It was exciting initially to start cooking, to meet the flatmates, to meet your course mates, to learn what you've been wanting to learn for a very long time. But then it's the daily mundane things that gets to you. It really gets to you at a point after maybe a month or two, and you're just so tired. You're just like, why do I have to cook? Why do I have to clean? Like, can I not do a takeout? No, I cannot because I do not have a job. Those small things just get to you so easily. And it was hard. It was really, really hard. And I would just call my parents up. Like, I don't know what I did. Like, I don't know if this was the right thing to do. It was just so hard to, even communicate to them in a way where they don't feel bad. Because they're at home so far away and they don't know how to help you. They're just there, and the most that they can do is, okay, if you're not feeling it, just come back. But that's not what you're here for, I've not done anything. How can I just go home? How can I just go back? I've just let down everything else. I cannot do that. I've let down myself more than anything else. Yeah, I think it was hard, but again, you just have to remind yourself, you just have to push yourself because no one else is going to do it as good as you're going to do that for yourself. Your parents can be very supportive. You can meet the right people. You can meet an amazing set of friends. I've been very grateful. I've met some amazing people who I cannot go a day without anymore. And I've met some amazing professors, some amazing mentors. And I've been incredibly lucky with that. But even with all of that, it's very easy to just go down that road. So I think I just kept reminding myself. Even now, it's been about 2 weeks since I finished my course, and I'm just like, okay, what do I do now? Then every morning, I'm just like, okay, I have to do this, this, this. And that's what keeps me going.
What about the people of Swansea? Like, what has Swansea been like to live in? Like what have the people been like, and what's the location been like?
Really cold, I must say. Because I think it was 16 degrees today, and I was just so happy. I was like, oh, this is nice. But I don't know how long that's going to last now, is it? So when I came in, I come from India, where 16 is winter. It's really cold for us. And the day I landed, I think I came in around maybe 11 p.m., which was probably 1 or 2 degrees. And no, I think it was around 3 or 4 degrees. It wasn't even that bad. And I came in, we got into a cab. And I was just like, I had everything on me, like all the layers, all the cap, the gloves, and I was still shivering. And the cab driver goes, "This isn't cold." And I'm like, "What's wrong with you? What do you mean?" And he goes, "It goes lower, it goes to minus. How are you going to manage it?" That was literally my first night, and I was like already scared. Like, what do you mean? I'm going to freeze to death. I cannot do this. And yeah, he's right. What he said was true. It did go minus, and it did snow as well last year, so it was just really, really cold. But I think you just get used to it. You have your heaters on and everything. Eventually, one day, you're fine because now I'm okay. 12 degrees is something we're very happy about, right? Because that's just how the weather is. But apart from that one aspect, I think the people are amazing. They're just so sweet, so welcoming. It was just something that, was like a different thing for me. I'm not going to say cultural shock. It was not a shock. It was a very good thing. Because everywhere, you just have to ask them, and they're just like so happy to help you. They're so happy to see you. I don't know who you are, but I'm so happy you're so happy. So it's just very sweet. And I'm like, "Hello, darling. How are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, so sweet." So they're very, very nice. It's been really great that way. Like I said, even with the lecturers and everyone, there's so many of them who are from here and who've traveled all around, but they've come back here because Swansea is so nice. And I do not want to leave just like that. I'm willing to travel anywhere in the UK and all of that, but Swansea has been a home. It's been my second home, and I'm so glad that I came here because I think it was a really great start to this. I've really enjoyed living in Swansea. I love the city. Yeah.
How did you actually find Swansea? Like, how did Swansea end up on your radar to come and study at?
I think Swansea is very well known for their law school, especially with their maritime course. So I was just studying and I was doing my research. I spoke to a lot of people and I came across their list like I come across every other university, And I think the one thing that really caught my eye was their curriculum or their like syllabus or the modules, because it was here in India we have a set module and you just stick to that and that's just how it is. But in the UK that's not how it is. You choose your modules. And here I think the combination of arbitration along with intellectual property with e-commerce is something that really excited me. And that's just how simple it was, because everywhere else was just like IP with economics or TMT, and I was just like, okay, but GDPR is something that we need today, especially in the UK. And I did work on it earlier when I was working as an associate. So when I looked at the modules and I said, okay, look, there's GDPR as well, and there's IP as well, and there's arbitration. Like, what more do I need? I have everything I need here. And that's how it was. I think when I applied to it also, I mentioned in my application as well that I'm really excited about the modules. I've been really studying how this works in your university. I think I'm very excited about it, so that's why I want to study here. And that's what it was. It was actually a pretty easy decision, but a very exciting one. Yeah.
Great. One last question for you then. What advice would you give to any student who's considering coming to study in the UK, or any student who's coming to study abroad? Their first time out of their home country. What advice would you give them?
Think about it. Like, really, really think about it, because it's a huge decision. It's a major change to your life, but also really enjoy it because it's a very short time. It just flies by. It's a different thing that you're spending a lot of money on it, that you're putting a lot of effort into it. But apart from that, there's so much responsibilities that you come with, that you got to do something, you got to achieve something, that at least your own goals or your own dreams or whatever is driving you to come here. But apart from that, you got to enjoy it. Otherwise, you just finish 1 year and you're like, what did I do? So, don't do that to yourself. Just come here. I know it's going to be like really hard. I know it's going to be a major change. You're going to miss your home. You're going to miss your food. Oh my God, you're going to miss your food so much. But everything else is okay. You're going to be able to cook your own food, or like you're going to be able to travel. But really enjoy it. Live in that moment, because every day as an international student, you're worrying, what do I do tomorrow? Because my visa is up, or, I need to apply for my next visa. I need to get a job. All of that aside, it just flies by. So live in the present, because I don't know what's up for me in the future. I really don't know. But even if I go home, even if I finish my visa and I don't get a job and I go home, I just want to be, confident that I gave in my everything. Like, I tried everything that I could. I did everything that I could in my hands. That's something that I'm going to be very confident about. And if, at the end of that, if I go home, I think I'm fine. It's okay, because I gave my best. I did my best. I did whatever I could. And that's what really matters. Because it's fine what people say. It's fine what everyone else thinks. It's about how much you want to respect yourself. And as long as you have that respect for yourself, I think you're good to go. Just work hard and just make sure you respect yourself, but you also live in the present so that you don't forget that when you're just thinking about the future.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for your time today, Shrushti. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to find out more about studying in the UK or listen to the other episodes in this series, please visit our website, swansea.ac.uk/international.